keep it brief, so I know you want to speak to Michael, but on behalf of the Essendon Football Club, we are absolutely over the moon that Michael has chosen to sign with us for 5 years. Obviously, the calibre of person he is very special for us. Michael has shown fantastic traits in leadership, both on and off the field, and off the field has just been terrific since my time at the club. And on the field, a wonderful player, massive competitor, and the future of the Essendon Football Club. So, Michael, congratulations. I look forward to the next 5 years.
Thank you. Michael, seems like it was a pretty easy decision for you.
Yeah, it was. Got my family down here, my friends down here, and it's a fantastic footy club that wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Did you ever discuss GWS with your family? Did you think, I might have to think about it, the money's going to be amazing? Did that ever go through your head, or it was always just, let's get this done?
I'm not really. It was always sort of there. You saw last year with players early on getting talked about and stuff like that, but I was always keen to stay, and I thought before all I suppose the media gets a hold of it, I'd like to get out of the way and over and done with.
So it sounds like you were sort of conscious of what happened to Tom Scully and some other players that it can drag on and you don't sort of get it out of the way? Yeah,
definitely, and you saw towards the end of the year their families sort of started to get brought into it, and I tried to avoid that. Didn't really want that happening. I thought football's what I play, not my family, sort of what they do. So I'd like to keep up to me, I suppose, and get over and done with.
You're obviously one of the college's most exciting young players, Michael. What does it mean to have this, financial security now for you at such a young age from a personal standpoint?
I suppose I'm pretty lucky to have that security. I suppose I'm looking to buy a house at the moment, so that also helps. So I suppose it's really good.
Jay, you don't hear many 5-year deals in AFL football anymore. I think a lot of people thought they were a thing of the past, so it's just some enormous show of faith.
Oh, it is, but if you know the quality of the man and the way he approaches his football and not just the way he approaches football, but the way he cares for people around the football club, that 5 years is, we know we're going to have a fantastic player and person, and really he'll be one of us, for a long time. And I think that, Michael's played with some pretty amazing players in Matthew Lloyd and Scott Lucas and forwards, and seen what they've done with their lives at the club, and he, playing with Dustin Fletcher, and we have no doubt that Michael will be up in that regard at the end of his career. And so 5 years is a short amount of time, because even if he has setbacks, even if he has injuries, even if he doesn't play that well because of the competitive nature he's got in him, he'll fight through that to be the player that we all hope he'll be one day.
Do you sort of feel that expectation, Michael James, sort of saying you can have a career like those guys? People saying already you're almost the most important player at this club. Do you feel that as a pressure or an expectation?
I almost see it as a compliment. I don't feel any extra pressure. I suppose every player has a role to play out in the field, and as the coaches say, you just got to play your role. And I think Matty Egan's been great with that. He's been new to the club, and he's really helped me already. So I just sort of do what the coaches want me to do, and play my role.
What do you love most about the footy club, Michael?
Just the people, the players, the staff, the coaches. Everyone's been great to me in my time here, and I really do love the footy club, and I see myself as an Essendon player, and I'd like to be one, I suppose, for the rest of my career.
Do you see yourself being a forward for mainly the next 5 years?
I'd like to think so. It's sort of up to him a bit, but I suppose I'm feeling really comfortable there at the moment. I think I'm starting to play some okay footy there, but I suppose with injuries and whatnot, I might end up down back at some stage. But I'd like to think I'm a forward now.
Is that how you see it standing out, Jay?
Yeah, look, certainly in the short term, definitely. I think that the wonderful thing about Michael and the way he can play is if we need him for a quarter at certain times down back because we're leaking goals or got an injury need to cover, we can play him there, or for a week or two as we did last year. But I think a player needs to know where they're setting their career and where they're going, and we see him as a forward. But things can happen and change, and we may need a key defensive post to play that role for a certain amount of time. And that's the wonderful thing about Michael is when I asked him to do it last year, when we asked him to do it last year, it was, yep, give me the role, and he didn't want to get beaten. So we think we're very lucky that Michael can play both ends of the field.
Michael was pretty selfless last weekend. Heard he copped it or not. Does he remind you a bit of himself in that regard in terms of throwing himself into the contest, with disregard for his head is?
No, he's got more aggression and more of that than I had. I used to, he's much braver. As Bruce Reid said to me yesterday, you would have come off the ground. So much braver than I was.
James, Michael's the one that's been at least publicly linked to GWS. Now that he's signed, does that put you out of the woods?
in terms of having any players back?
Oh, we've got quite a number of players coming out of contract, and we're in discussions with Patrick Ryder about his contract, so we're very keen to get that signed up as well. And I think a lot of clubs go through this, and where you want to sign your best young players and your best players, and know that for the next 2 or 3 years you've got all your good players on contract. And Paul Hamilton and Ian Robson are out doing that at the moment, and I think it's as many as 12 or 13 we've actually got coming out of contract next year. So they're very busy at the moment, starting to talk to managers, making sure that we have those players signed up.
Does it make it easy now that Michael's done?
I think it does. I think it's always when you get one done, you go to the next one, the next one, the next one. But as Michael has said, and to both Ian and Paul, he understood when he signed his contract that if he tries to go for everything, then there's no money left for the other players. I think that was the great thing about what Michael did. He could have got more money, but he stayed and realised that he wants to be part of a successful team, and that takes taking less money, so your mates can stay around and play it. And the way he's done it is exactly that way.
What's the pitch from you if there has to be one? I'm not sure. Michael's obviously spoken about loyalty and all that sort of thing, but if you're talking to the other guys that are still out of contract, is it the new facilities coming up? Is it where the team's going in the future and the direction of the club, or what's your sort of?
I think it's all those things, but the new facility is great, and we all love going to a shiny new building and training. But in my time, and you hear Michael talk, it's about playing with your mates and being successful with a group of people who you follow through the whole way. And we've only just started on the journey, but and Michael should answer this himself. But if I was a young player at Essendon, I'd be very excited about the quality of people I've got around me and the potential to build something very special.
Spoken to Sheeds to tell him just to knock off the facility.
Sheeds, you guys don't understand. Sheeds promised me he wouldn't touch any Essendon players 3 years ago, so we knew we were okay. No.
How much was the contract negotiations actually played on your mind, James, about Michael, obviously, because will he go, will he stay? Is that something that's sort of been in the back of your mind for quite a while now?
Not really, and not because not because I didn't care, but because it's his decision, and I don't think we ever had a conversation where I said, "Hurls, please sign. You have to sign." It was more, Michael, we want to make you a terrific player. We want to help you play, and we think this is a good environment for you. We hope you feel the same way, and be part of us. But you can't make a player stay, and you can't worry about whether players stay or not. You provide the best environment for them. You treat them the way they should be treated, and then hopefully they stay.
Michael, are you expecting some success in the next 5 years? How quickly do you think you can get there?
Well, I think with the development we showed last year, it can be quite quick. We came a long way. Well, I think it was 13th the previous year to 8th last year, and I think if we can keep on developing that it shouldn't be too long.
Go back to last year, Michael. How much discomfort were you playing in towards the end of the season with that foot problem you had?
Oh, it wasn't too bad. I was a little bit sore towards the end of the game, but the support staff were great. Like Bruce Reid did a great job, and the coaching staff helped with my loads during the week, so yeah, it wasn't too bad.
James, you laughed then?
I'd say to Michael on a Monday, "How you feeling?" And he'd say, "No, terrible." I'd say to him on Wednesday, "How you feeling?" "Fantastic." And then after the game, "How you feeling?" He couldn't walk. So Michael stretches the truth occasionally around his injuries, and for him to play the quality of football he played at the back end of last year, with the injury he had and the fact he had no training, was an exceptional effort. And that's the competitor he is.
Does he remind you of anyone that you played with or played against in terms of that competitiveness that he's got?
No, I think I'll go back to Bruce Reid again, and Bruce's comment was that he's the most competitive player we've had at this club in the last 25 years. So that's a big tick, and probably should stop pumping him up because he'll ask for more money in a minute. So we'll move on. But no, look, we're very happy, and I think we know we're on the right path with Michael and with some other players as well.
Any further questions?
Just on that story about Caroline Wilson this morning, James, about the fines, the possible fines for clubs that poach assistant coaches from other clubs. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's necessary?
Look, I haven't read the story, so I don't know exactly what she said. But it's been discussed. I think it's been discussed at probably the level above the coaches in that when coaches leave to go to other clubs, and the difficult situation, particularly if an assistant coach gets a senior job, is when they leave. And it was difficult for both the grand finalists last year, and you can only make that decision if you're in that environment. And I know that if one of our coaches were in a grand final, one of our coaches got the job to another club, I'd hope they'd stay and coach out the coach out the grand final. If they didn't stay, I could understand as well. So it's a very competitive business, and people leave, and hopefully they leave at the right time.
Were there any other new issues that you raised with the coach and on media stage that you can share with us?
And I think all the issues are pretty much on the table that the coaches have put. There's no real new issues. No.
Have you been disappointed by, I guess, the way you've been quoted in the 2-2 discussion as, I guess, being raising issues with respect to Indigenous players? Were you taken out of context, or were you sort of taking a stride in terms of being part of that discussion?
What do you think?
What, personally?
Yeah.
I think you raised issues with the 2-2 rule in the context of a press conference that perhaps have been taken unfairly out of context. Personally, that's what I think. But I don't know if my view is relative.
Probably agree with you. Yeah, I mean, not much I can do about that. You make your comments, you answer the questions, and I think you know, if you think about your comments and they're well thought out, then you're confident in what you say and you move on. I mean, I had a football club to coach and a team to get ready to win their first game against North Melbourne. So worrying about whether you're taken out of context or not out of context is not that big a deal.
And you've just got a few playing in the VFL this week. How do you come to the decision about who to play and who to not?
We applied and we only really got those 4 players, you know, pretty much allowed. I think if we had pushed a bit harder, we might have gotten through. But we're pretty confident that most of our guys have got the work under their belt. There might be a couple a little bit underdone, but I'd prefer to have players 5% underdone and on the park next week than, you know, overcook them and injure them. So that was probably a conservative approach with a couple of guys.
So are they, the 4 that you're playing, are they still in the running to play next week?
Yeah, Steinberg hurt his toe, so he missed a lot of the pre-season. O'Brien's come back from a quad. Nathan Lovett-Murray's probably the one who is most in contention, and he hurt his calf about 6 weeks ago, so he's played I think it's his second game back. So if, you know, he needs a run and he's very much in contention. Then Corey Delolio, a rookie, so, you know, we'll see what happens.